Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai, and welcome to Jagadambe Reads the Holy Books of India, ShrimadBhagavatam199. As you may remember, Menaka, the Apsara, was asked to go down to earth and tempt Kaushika away from his tapas. She walked around in the lovely spot where he was. Looking at her beautiful form and her winning ways, Kaushika was bewitched, and he succumbed to the temptation. 5 years passed, and another 5 years. He woke up suddenly from this dream one day. He realized that 10 precious years had been wasted. His tapas had been disturbed, and he had lost much of what he had accumulated. He was full of sorrow and anger with himself. He then realized that it was the work of the devas who were set on disturbing any tapas performed by anyone. When she saw him like this, Menaka, who held a child in her arms, was overcome with fear lest he should be very angry with her. She stood with folded palms, and her tears were trembling on her lashes. But Kaushika was not angry with her. He told her that he was going to continue where he had left off. He went to the banks of the river Kaushiki, who had been his sister Satyavati. His tapas was terrible. After a long time, the devas and Brahma were pleased with him. Brahma led the host, and they appeared before Kaushika and said, "Kaushika, you are now a Maharishi, a Maharshi. You have performed a severe penance. I tell you that you are the greatest of the rishis." Kaushika was neither pleased nor displeased by the words of Brahma. He said, "With my tapas I've earned the title Maharshi. But tell me, my lord, have I become one who has conquered his senses?" Brahma said, "I'm afraid not. You are not a complete Jitendriya." Kaushika's face fell, and Brahma said, "You must try to achieve that also." The most difficult part of his tapas was performed by Kaushika during the next few years. He held his arms aloft, and he starved. Only the air was his food. In the midst of 5 fires, he stood during summer, and during the cold season, he stood in the midst of water. His tapas had become intense, and as was his custom, Indra summoned one of the Apsaras to tempt him. It was Ramba this time who was summoned by Indra. He said, "Go and try to tempt Kaushika as Menaka did before." Ramba was very much afraid, and she said, "I dare not go, my lord. His anger will be unbearable." But Indra assured her that nothing would happen to her, and she went down to earth as her predecessor had done. Indra told her that he would himself be with her. The nightingale would sing from the branches of a beautiful tree near where Kaushika was, and on that tree would be seated Mamata and Indra. Ramba went to the earth, and there she reached the presence of Kaushika. While he was in the midst of his meditation, Kaushika was disturbed by the music of the nightingale. He smelled the perfume of the flowers, which would normally grow in the season named Vasanta, spring. He opened his eyes, and he saw this beautiful woman standing before him. Kaushika knew that it was the work of Indra, or else how could Vasanta come long before it was due? And again, how could a beautiful and delicately made woman find her way into the heart of the terrible forest unless she had been brought there? His anger came up at once, and he cursed Ramba. "You have come here at the behest of Indra to tempt me by your wiles and your wanton ways. You want to rob me of my tapas. You will be turned to stone and stay on the earth for 1,000 years." The moment he cursed her, Kaushika repented his action and said, "Brahma was right. I am not a Jitendriya. I am not able to subdue my anger. So long as the senses are unconquered, the Atman will not attain tranquility. From now on, I will never be angry, and I will not speak a word. I will drain myself of all feelings and perform tapas once again. Then and only then will I attain the fruits of my tapas." Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you for coming. I hope you come again.